What's going on, guys? Will and Joey here, back again once again for the 15th episode, I hope, of the Raider Nation Today podcast. The first time we've done a true post game right after the game, and what a game. The Raiders beat the Chargers in overtime, 35-32, and they made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Unbelievable. I am so proud of the Raider Nation. I'm so happy to make content for this team for most of the year. I am just at a loss of words. From John Gruden getting fired, from Henry Ruggs' terrible situation, this team rallied, this team persevered. They won 4 games in a row, and now they are 10-7 and sitting at the 5th seed, not the 6th. They didn't barely sneak in. They're not the 7th seed. No, they are the top wild card team in the AFC. So I'm going to pass the mic to you, Joey. I know you're the big Raider fan here. I'm so proud of this team. I cannot express how proud I am of the Las Vegas Raiders. So you take the mic, Joey. All you, man.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of this team. And it's been so long since this team has been able to really do much. I mean, back, like you said, 2016, when they, were making it to the playoffs, it was kind of unfair because Derek Carr got injured and he couldn't play. That's mainly why they lost. This time we're going in the playoffs with a healthy Derek Carr, and it feels good to have our true quarterback back there, and he can finally prove himself. He can finally play in that playoff game, which is what we want. And I'm so happy for these guys. I'm so happy. I give credit to Rich Bisaccia, the rest of the coaching staff for being able to rally these guys together and kind of persevere through all the tough and all the crap that has gone on this year, and kind of grow from that and kind of get better and never give up. I mean, we were talking about a couple weeks ago, like, should the Raiders tank? Should the Raiders tank for a draft pick, and get a higher pick? And look what happened. They didn't. They rallied together and they won 4 or 5. They won 4 games in a row. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I would not have guessed that. So, big shout out to the Raiders players, the coaching staff, and everybody. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't perfect, but they got it done, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and that's a fact. Like, a win is a win. I don't care if the Raiders win by 14, if they win by 3, 1, 2. I don't care. A win is a win in the end of the book. So, just a quick recap of the game. Let's just go over it. Obviously, they did win, so that's all that matters. But just going over what the game saw, Max Crosby arguably had his best game of the season. Me and Joey have talked about how Max Crosby doesn't have a lot of sacks, but I think he leads the league in either QB pressures or QB hits, one of the two. So the point is like, he's getting to the quarterback, he's just not finishing the sack. And yesterday, I should say, he had 2 sacks. So he finishes the season with 8. And he played awesome, and he's one of the main factors why the Raiders won the game. And without the 2 sacks, he just kept on giving constant pressure to Justin Herbert. And the Chargers were really missing their right tackle, Brian Beluga, in this game because Crosby was all over him. Even Yannick Ngakoue going against Rashawn Slater, the most likely to our rookie left tackle, where Yannick Ngakoue, I don't think he got a sack, but he was pressuring Herbert the whole game. So from the offensive side of the ball, the Raiders offense played pretty well. I mean, they scored 35 points. That's their most they've scored in a while. But for the offensive, Hunter Renfrow, obviously he has really stepped it up for the Raiders with Darren Waller being out. He had 2 touchdowns, and he's been playing great, honestly. I mean, Hunter Renfrow, it seems like the last couple of years with the Raiders, they've always had one guy step up and be like, okay, like example, 2019 was Darren Waller's big breakout year. Last year, I guess there wasn't really one. I guess you could arguably say Henry Ruggs. You could say
Nelson Aguilar back. He was
Nelson Aguilar last year.
Number 1 target. I would say mix between Nelson Aguilar and Waller last year, but yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
Stick with guys.
There's always been a player on offense that seems to break out for the last couple of years for the Raiders, and this year was Hunter Renfrow, and he really stepped up big, especially with Ruggs' incident with Waller being out. He stepped up big. So, and awesome game for Hunter Renfrow. Cannot express it. Derek Carr, me and Joey did talk about it. He did miss a couple throws, but besides that, Carr played pretty damn good. Not nothing crazy. He wasn't playing like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert had double Derek Carr's throws, but Justin Herbert threw for just about 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Derek Carr was a little bit more pedestrian, 186 with 2 touchdowns, but he still played pretty good. Also on the offensive side of the ball, Darren Waller was pretty quiet, but that's expected coming off of a potential serious knee injury. I'm not really too worried about that, honestly.